Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Torrent Power Limited Q4 FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Mashruwala, CFO from Torrent Power Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, all of you, and thank you for joining Torrent Power earnings calls for Q4 FY24. First, I will take you to the performance of the quarter as well as for the full year, after which phone lines will be open for the Q&A session. Let's explain the performance of the company at PBT level. Reported PBT for the quarter stood at 617 crores as compared to 668 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. Main reason for the lower profit in the current quarter is on account of lower net gain from sale of LNG of 91 crores compared to the corresponding quarter of the last year. To better understand the performance of the company, let me take you to the non-recurring items. During the current quarter, there is no non-recurring items. Non-recurring items in the corresponding quarter of last year, that is Q4 FY23, includes there are three non-recurring items for last quarter, comparable quarter of last year. First, accounted profit of 50 crores in license distribution area of DNS/DD, which were portrayed in the first three quarters of FY23, however, were accounted for during the course of Q4 FY23. The deferment of accounting of incentive was due to lack of clarity on eligibility of incentive, as FY23 was the first year of operations for DNS/DD. When the regulatory clarity was in place, entire incentive amount pertaining to the FY23 was accounted in Q4 to align with the applicable regulations. Hence, here I would like to specify that as the entire incentive amount was pertaining to the FY23, which was accounted in Q4 of last year, hence there is no non-recurring item to be considered for the full year accounts. Second, solar incentive of 35 crores were booked on account of solar rooftop installation in our license distribution area. And the third item is, as a policy, we account carrying cost as an income only when we have regulatory approvals in place. When the regulator gives a tariff order, that is when regulator gives a tariff order. Last year we have received tariff order on 31st March 23, and hence 21 crores was accounted as a revenue in FY23 itself. In current year, tariff order are deferred due to elections, hence we have not recognized any carrying cost income in Q4 of current year. So net non-recurring credit was 106 crores in Q4 of FY23. Adjusted for the above non-recurring items as well as LNG gains, net PBT for the quarter stood at 617 crores as compared to 471 crores in corresponding comparable quarter of last year, which is higher by 146 crores, that is a growth of about 31%. Improvement in profit was on account of improved performance in underlying businesses of thermal as well as renewable generations. Business-wise factors contributing to the performance of the company are as follows. First, improvement in overall contribution of thermal generation business by 132 crores, mainly on account of two factors. First, net gain on account of higher offtake under the long-term PPA was 47 crores. Gain from sale of merchant power by 85 crores. During the quarter under consideration, merchant capacity were operational for sale of merchant power for 770 MVVN tender for the sale of power and for the sale of power in the exchange as well. Current demand and supply situation in the electricity market is favorable for generator due to no major investment being made on thermal capacity recent past. The moderation in LNG price globally, it provides a good opportunity for us to run our untied gas-based power capacity of 1.5 gigawatt. The overall PLF of thermal generation improved from 18% to 35% due to better long-term as well as merchant sales. Second is, apart from this, profitability of renewable segment increased by 26 crores on account of, first, improvement in PLF for the wind power project and contribution from the 115 megawatt Sikki 5 wind project commissioned in July 23, which was partially offset by the lower PLF from the solar power plant. And the third, above-mentioned gains from the generation segment were partially offset by the reduction in the contribution from the distribution business by 22 crores, mainly account of two factors. First, marginally higher T&D losses, more particularly in Ahmedabad, and higher carrying cost charges on account of increased regulatory gap by 900 crores. This completes the explanation of the financial performance during the quarter. I will now summarize the key reason for the yearly financial performance as compared with the last year. Reported PBT for the year stood at 2583 crores as compared to 3041 crores in FY23. Major reason for the lower profit during the year is on account of a lower gain, net gain I would say, from the sale of LNG amounting to 942 crores. There were no non-recurring current items during the current year. As explained earlier, non-recurring items during the FY23 were on account of solar incentive of 35 crores and carrying cost of 21 crores, totaling to 56 crores. Adjusted for the above two items physically, LNG gain as well as these 56 non-recurring items, PBT for the current quarter stood at 2583 crores compared to adjusted PBT of 2043 crores of previous year, resulting in the growth of 540 crores. That is a growth of 826%. Apart from this, the underlying business across coal generation, gas generation, renewable generation shows improvement in the profit in the year. This completes the explanation of the financial performance during the years. Moving on, we will now give a brief update on the projects under pipelines. 3 gigawatt capacity on DC basis of renewable power projects are in pipeline, which includes following projects. First, 420 megawatt solar project having PPA capacity of 300 megawatt with our own DISCOM. It is likely to be commissioned by end of this quarter. As mentioned in the last quarter, the project is expected to have a improved return profile considering the reduction in solar module prices in interest market. The project cost is expected to be 1,800 crores. Second, 300 megawatt Sikki 12 project, Sikki 12 wind power project, PPA of which was executed in the end of March 23. A turnkey EPC contract for development of the project has been awarded to Suzlon. The SCOD of project is expected to be December 25. The project cost is expected to be 2,500 crores. 200 megawatt merchant hybrid project comprising of 120 megawatt wind and 75 megawatt solar is being developed under the Air Power Wind Farm. The project implementation is on track and the plant is expected to be commissioned progressively by December 25. As the power from the power project will be sold directly in the merchant market, it will start generating revenue right from the first part of the commissioning, as evacuation infrastructure is already in place. The project cost is expected to be 1,400 crores. Fourth, 825 megawatt hybrid project having PPA capacity of 450 megawatt with our own DISCOM comprising of 486 megawatt of wind power project. 339 megawatt solar project was awarded through bidding process at a fixed tariff of 3 rupees 65 paisa for 25 years. LOA for the project has been awarded and PPA for the project is likely to be executed in the current quarter. FCD of the project is 24 months from the PPA date and is likely to be implemented with a project cost of 5,500 crores. Fifth, 368 megawatt hybrid power project comprising of 224 megawatt wind as well as 144 megawatt solar project was awarded through a bidding process conducted by the Indian Railways at a fixed tariff of 4 rupees 25 paisa for 25 years. LOA for the project has been awarded and a PPA to the project is likely to be executed in the current quarter. SCOD of the project is 24 months from the date of PPA and likely to be implemented with a project cost of 2,600 crores. Sixth, 425 megawatt solar project having PPA capacity of 306 megawatt was awarded to the bidding process conducted by the MSEDCL. The fixed tariff of 3 rupees 10 paisa for the period of 25 years. LOA for the project has been awarded and PPA for the project has been executed. SCOD of the project is September 25 and is likely to be implemented with a project cost of 1,550 crores. 7. 100 megawatt wind power project awarded to competitive bidding conducted by the SECI 16. The fixed tariff of 3 rupees 60 paisa for the period of 25 years. LOA for the project has been awarded and PPA for the project is likely to be executed in the current quarter. SCOD of the project will be 24 months from the date of PPA and is likely to be implemented with a project cost of 925 crores. In the last 8 number, under CNI portfolio, company has 435 megawatt projects under development comprising of 395 megawatt of solar and 40 megawatt of wind capacities. 34 megawatt of this 435 megawatt capacity has already been commissioned at the end of the year. And balance capacity is likely to be commissioned progressively within next 2 years period. The project cost is expected to be about 1,900 crores. Apart from renewable energy projects, the company has been working on the developing 2 transmission projects, which are as follows. First, Khavda transmission project under Torrent Power Grid, which is a joint venture between Torrent Power and Power Grid Corporation Limited, which has been awarded to the company on a nomination basis under regulatory tariff mechanism, post-tax ROE equivalent to 15% plus incentives. The project cost is expected to be 800 crores. The second, solar power transmission project under new SPV, which was won by the company through tariff-based competitive bidding process conducted in Q4 FY24 at an annual fixed cost of 50 crores per annum for 35 years. The project cost is expected to be 470 crores. With the above said investment in renewable as well as transmission projects, the company has investment plan close to about 20,000 crores in next 2 to 3 years per year. Moving on to the new ventures. First, the company pilot project on green hydrogen with CNG in UP, one of the largest private sector blending projects in India, which was expected to be commissioned by end of the March 24, has been delayed and is now going to be commissioned very soon. Further, the company has got allocation of 18 KTP of green hydrogen project under SECI PLI scheme tenders, the average PL of 28.89 per kg. Technical feasibility has been done and detailed business plan is under preparation for this project. With respect to pump storage hydro project in Maharashtra, as informed earlier, currently we have signed MOU with the Maharashtra for 3 pump storage hydro projects with a total capacity of 5.7 gigawatt, expected to be commissioned up to in 5 years period for the investment of 27,000 crores. Also, MOF has granted terms of reference for 2 sites of 4.2 gigawatt and DPR is under preparation for these 2 projects. Depending upon the central and state government policy, we plan to develop this pump storage hydro project. Similar opportunities are being explored in other states like UP, Gujarat, MP, and Rajasthan. We have initiated the progress of obtaining requisite approvals. This could be offered either as a storage solution or providing the high RTC renewable power solutions. That's all for this quarter. Now I would request coordinator to open the lines in Q&A session. For Q&A session, we wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Handing over to the operators.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Again, if you have any questions, please press star and 1. The first question is from the line of Satyadeep Jain from Ambit Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you. A couple of questions. One on the agreement you have with NVNA. How much unit sold under that agreement in this quarter?
So we have started supplying, and minimum guaranteed quantity is already completed with the NVVN.
Is it possible to specify how many units?
No, but the guaranteed quantity, minimum guaranteed quantity, they have offtaken already completed. They have offtaken all minimum guaranteed quantities as of so far. So minimum commitment is completed.
The entire, I believe it was 38 crore units or something?
388 is the minimum quantity they have to take, which we have supplied to them.
Okay. And second was under the merchant power sale, just wanted to understand the Section 11. I think in the previous call you had indicated, I believe 6 rupees variable cost at that time, the LNG prices. How would the Section 11 work in terms of benchmark cost and what kind of margin could you generate on that?
So currently, under Section 11, the government has started given the schedule till 31st of May. So we have started supplying under Section 11 since last 10 days time. 10 days they have started lifting the power by the government, and they have given schedule up to the end of this month. So we have started supplying under Section 11 merchant power.
Since you're already supplying, is it possible to quantify what is the benchmark cost that you're supplying at?
It is about 10 rupees currently. We are supplying about 10 rupees. Around 10 rupees.
Cost? Okay.
They have benchmarked with the GAIL LNG cost.
And your own cost, variable cost, as you indicated last quarter, was about 6 rupees. Is it fair to assume basically a 4 rupee spread right now on that merchant power sale?
So basically, it's a markup of 20. If you look at the scheme, markup of 20% is available as compared with the. So it's not that significant, I would say.
Okay. And just very quickly on the DISCOM, I noticed the demand growth in some of the distribution entities, franchise and license was relatively lower, including negative trend YOY. What was driving that?
So this demand is expected to remain strong. In fact, we are seeing about 4-5% growth in our demand. And merchant market is also going to be remain strong. That is what our expectation is.
I was trying to understand from Bhiwandi, Agra, and Dadar, Nagar Haveli, all these entities, YOY demand looked very soft, including negative in certain areas. Any particular reason why?
In Q4, generally it remained okay, but Q1, being a summer month, is expected to be, Q4 is expected to be remain strong, Q1.
Okay. Even though YOY demand growth in Q4 was flat to down, Q1 should pick up, you think?
So I think Bhiwandi only was down. If you look at Agra or if you look at SMK, both were up. Typically, Bhiwandi is more of an industrial area. So on a quarterly basis, there will be some deviations on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But if you look at the trajectory per se, we don't feel that there should be any dip in demand.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ketan Jain from Avendus. Please go ahead.
Yes. My first question is, can you tell me?
Sorry to interrupt. Mr. Jain, your line is not clear.
Is it better now?
This is much better. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes. Hi. So I wanted to ask, sir, what is the EBITDA from merchant sales and LNG sales in FY24 versus FY23?
So there is no specific EBITDA we generally give. We give the EBITDA numbers now in segment reporting right now. So if you look at the EBITDA for Q4 for generation business, basically, we have reported about 324 crores EBITDA for generation business. Renewable is about 228 crores. In transmission distribution, about 673 crores. In total EBITDA for the Q4 is about 1,200 crores.
So can you break down from the generation, how much is it from merchant and how much is from LNG?
So we are able to report the total EBITDA of generation projects. So there is no separate numbers available for the merchant.
Acha. Okay. So my next question is, what is the expected PLF for DGen for FY25, and what is the variable cost for DGen right now?
So guidance for 25 for DGen is we are not able to provide. So, but it all depends on the merchant market, which is, the demand is going to be very strong. So we expect that the higher utilization of DGen power project going forward.
So basically, any upwards of 20%, sir?
I think we are not giving any guidance per se, but if you look at last 2 years or 3 years, the PLF from our gas-based power plant have been improving, mainly coming from our long-term PPAs which we have and also from the merchant market. And if I look at going forward demand supply situation, we expect the demand should remain strong compared to the supply which is available in the country. So we expect all the power plants in the country to show higher PLFs. Now, exact guidance per se, we are not giving as of now.
Okay, understood, sir. And assuming around 7 to 8 rupees of variable cost for DGen, is that right, sir?
It all depends on gas, LNG prices.
Yeah. If gas prices are stable right now, like as per current prices.
So $10 to $11 per se is typically a variable cost of 6.5 rupees.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see, merchant EBITDA, you can assume about 85 crores for the Q4.
Okay. Thank you. And sir, is there any other agreement we are looking to sign, like we signed with NTPC? Is there any other agreement we are looking to sign?
No, we
Short-term.
We are supplying in the merchant market, and the short-term contract we are doing on a regular basis.
Okay. Acha. Okay, sir. That's it. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swati Junjunwala from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. So I just wanted to know first, was there any particular reason why there was a higher T&D loss in Ahmedabad?
It's a seasonal variation, so there is no particular, I would say, reason. I would say sometimes it happens like seasonal variation. Because of seasonal variation, it has happened. There is no specific reason.
Understood. And second on capex, so can you highlight what was the capex for FY24, and if you could break it up, segment wise?
Capex for the full year, I can give the full year numbers. License distribution business of Ahmedabad, Surat, Dahej, and Tolera, we have incurred about 1,666 crores capex. Our franchise distribution, we incurred 243 crores capex. And balance capex is 106. Total capex for the other than renewable, I would say, about 2,000 crores.
Understood. So the balance 106 would be for what?
For other like MJ about coal-based project in other areas, we have incurred capex.
Understood.
Other than license and franchise distribution area. Sujan also some gas-based project, some capex incurred. Coal-based project, some capex is incurred.
Understood. And third, can you give the net generation numbers for FY24? Because I think that is not there in the PPT this time.
Which number?
The net generation for each plant.
We'll give the offline number. We'll give the offline.
Sure. Not a problem. All right. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Thanks for taking my questions. My first one is on the CapEx target for FY25-26, and if you could split it into renewables, the transmission projects that you're doing, as well as the regulated and franchisee distribution business.
So Sumit, as far as CapEx is concerned, for our distribution license and franchise, we give 2,000 crores CapEx guidance. And that guidance is continuing, about 1,750 crores for the license and 250 crores for the franchise distribution area. And as far as renewable and transmission is concerned, so guidance is about 20,000 crores CapEx plan we have, so at least for next 2-3 years. So major CapEx is going to happen in next 2 years, I would say, out of this 20,000 crores CapEx.
Okay. So it would also depend on when the zero date starts and the PPA gets signed for some of the pipeline capacity.
Exactly. So there is a roadmap available for to at least 2-3 years. We have clear visibility of 3 gigawatt project in pipeline right now. So that capex is about 20,000 crores is going to happen in next 2-3 years per year.
And this is over and above your normal capex for.
This is over and above our 2,000 crores of normal capex which we incur every year for our distribution area.
Very clear. In your presentation this time, you have used the terminology of installed capacity, which includes solar in DC terms. I was just wondering whether, we used to speak about a 5 gigawatt target for RE over the medium term. I mean, did you think about solar in DC terms or AC terms? Because
So there are now we are doing many projects on the hybrid basis, basically, high curve basis. We are targeting high curve supply. So supply we are overcharging capacity because of the high curve requirement. So things are changing. It's not the plain vanilla solar and wind projects. So we have to install a larger capacity. So we are talking about the DC capacity from this quarter onwards. The DC capacity will be much higher than the contracted capacity.
So DC would be because of the AC-DC conversion ratio, but oversizing would still require you to set up more capacity in AC terms as well, versus, say, the nameplate of 100 megawatt for a round-the-clock project, is my understanding. So how should we look at it? I mean, this 3 you have mentioned in an asterisk on slide, which shows renewable energy projects in pipeline, that AC for wind and DC for solar.
So Sumit, basically, you are right. AC-DC difference would be on 2 counts. One is because of conversion losses which happens. You'll have to have higher DC capacity so that you get the contracted AC capacity. And and the second one is on higher DC capacity so that you meet the CUF requirements for the project. So basically, when we take up a hybrid project, we look at how PLFs are coming up, and then we decide on the overloading, which also factors in the AC-DC conversion losses also. So when you say that 5 gigawatt of our target, basically when we said that that was our aspiration to go to 5 gigawatts. Now you can say it is a AC capacity or you can say the DC capacity. It all depends on how much projects we are able to win at our returns. So it can go higher also from this number if you look at from a DC capacity basis.
From a balance sheet standpoint, how are you thinking about net debt to EBITDA metrics, or what is the balance sheet bandwidth in terms of taking up new projects over and above the aspiration that you have on capex on the RE side in terms of projects on hand, plus for pump storage hydro? I'm assuming when do you do groundbreaking, because you're looking at substantial capex over a 5-year time frame. So some color there would also help.
So currently the focus will be on this 20,000 crores investment in renewable projects, renewable as well as transmission projects. So our current balance sheet size is ratios, I would say, debt equity ratios and net debt to EBITDA ratios are well in place, I would say, which will take care of this 20,000 crores investment. So considering the pump storage hydro project is 3-4 years away from the current, at least 3 years away from the current date. By that time, we will be ready with our renewable investment. We are done with this current investment.
So when you say 3 years away in terms of financial closure and groundbreaking?
At least 2.5 years, because we require about 2 years for the approval process for the pump storage hydro projects.
Fair enough. My last question on the capping of returns of 20% on the ECR for your gas-based projects. My reading is the variable cost of the ECR is about, say, 6.5 rupees, and that would imply 20% on that would be 1.2 to 1.5 rupees per kilowatt hour at the EBITDA level. Is that the right understanding?
So I think, Sumit, there are other charges also which will have to be loaded on this, like transmission cost of gas, the losses on the SHR, and all those will have to be added onto that. Now, one thing is that this Section 11 will benchmark gas prices on GAIL benchmark, which implies that our cost might be lower than what GAIL would be selling. We directly purchase from international markets. So there will be some difference or some additional benefit which should be coming in from that account.
Okay. So basically the spread could be better than the normal calculation that we do, assuming the variable cost, because it is benchmarked to GAIL rate. What is the GAIL benchmark rate difference versus your procurement cost?
We'll let you know. Not available as of now, on hand, but I'll just give you one more pointer on this. Is that if you look at CERC norms in terms of SHR and O&M expenses and all, we are much below that in our existing plants where we have a 2-part PPA. So I think that's a key pointer for everybody to understand that our cost would be lower than what a normative 120% would be calculating.
So apart from 120%, we two things we are able to gain. Our cost of gas is lower, plus fuel efficiency also we are going to get.
Excellent. Now, my sincere compliments on the traction you have got in securing a pipeline for renewable projects and even transmission projects. Thank you, and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities Limited. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Sir, I have a few questions. The first is on, sir, you have taken approval for the QIP for raising 5,000 crore. Is there any reason for raising this money? Are you looking to do a very high capex in the medium term, which is over and above this? What we spoke right now?
It's an enabling approval we have taken, so there is no real intention at this moment. But it's an enabling approval we are taking, like what other companies are taking. So current balance sheet size and our debt equity ratio is well in shape right now, so which can take care of this 20,000 crores investment, which we are going to invest in next 2 to 3 years time. So only thing is enabling approval we are taking. There is no such real plan at this moment.
And so, Mohit, if you look at it right now, this 20,000 crores would be over a period of 2 to 3 years, which means my cumulative EBITDA, if I take a run rate of this year also, which is 5,000 crores, that's a 15,000 crore EBITDA which we are talking about, compared to 20,000 crores of investments over a period of 2 to 3 years. And with current net debt to EBITDA of 2.25, we have sufficient balance sheet strength to take care of the capex requirements for these projects which are under pipeline.
Understood. The second question, is it possible to quantify the EBITDA of your upcoming renewables capacity?
I think we have given the capex numbers, we have given the tariff numbers, so I think it is a very simple mathematical calculation there.
So what is the aspiration on the C&I portfolio for renewables? Do you think is an opportunity, enough large opportunity to make it a size of maybe 1 gigawatt, 1 or 2 gigawatt in the let's say 2 to 3 years? Is it possible?
So there is no fixed number. In fact, we have a reasonable start, I would say. What 320 megawatt of renewable C&I portfolio we have built in. So we are going to expand that portfolio going forward. So there is no specific number we can put, but overall numbers, yes, 5 gigawatt is our current target we are aiming for. So there is no specific target for the C&I capacity at this moment.
Understood. So my last question is on this, sir. I think you are bidding for a couple of, coal projects like SKS Power. If I'm not wrong, I think NCLT has, he has vacated a stay and ordered the NCLT to take a call in 60 days. Is it? I believe it's not in our favor, and I think we can make a fresh appeal, right? Have you appealed, or it is? You think it's not?
No. In fact, we are looking at brownfield project. We are never looking at the greenfield project, coal-based project. Any good opportunities available? Yeah, we are eager to look at.
No, so my question was about SKS Power. We were looking to, we're looking to buy from NC from insolvency process.
So SKS Power is under litigation with the NCLT right now. So litigation, I think, will go on for at least next 2 months' time. Let's see what happened in the litigations.
Understood. Thank you. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, if you have any questions at this moment, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Aniket Mittal from SBI Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So just harping on this 5,000 crore enabling resolution, if you could just talk about, let's say, from a 3 to 5 year perspective, which are the areas where you are seeing growth for which you may require additional equity?
Growth, as far as the current investment is concerned, we are well in phase, I would say. Balance sheet strength is available, so to take care of this requirement. So upcoming RE project, any further project, this pump storage hydro project may require additional funding. So we'll see at that point of time what kind of and this 20,000 crores investment will also start generating EBITDAs also. So it depends on I would say at what point of time we have to. It's an enabling resolution. Nothing I would say is fixed right now on the QIP side. It's an enabling resolution we are taking.
Okay. But this would largely entail, in terms of your thought process, would largely be within the renewables and pumped hydro space, right? Those two areas is where you could possibly require.
Aniket, right now with renewable pipeline, I think we are well capitalized for funding those projects. Additionally, in pump storage or in green hydrogen, if additional opportunities come in and we decide to do a financial investment in those, at that point in time, considering the balance sheet and the cash flows, we'll have to really look at it whether it makes sense to raise equity at that point in time first. On the second part, we are also looking at a lot of acquisition opportunities. If some good opportunities available and whether it's a larger one, at that point in time, it becomes operationally very difficult for you to go and take approvals. So that's why these enabling resolutions are being taken. So if you look at our group companies also, we have been taking enabling resolutions for a long time. Not a single rupee of equity has been raised. Unless there is a need and justification for raising of equity, I think we would, as a group, will not be doing equity raise.
Fair. That helps. Just a smaller question, and this was pertaining to the opening remarks you made. One of your opening remarks, you mentioned about 50 crores worth of incentives that the DNS circle had earned last year. What are these incentives pertaining to? If you could throw some light there.
So basically, the unedited was the first year of operation last year, and we were not sure about the so basically incentive coming from the T&D losses, O&M expenses, which we are not sure in the first 3 quarters, so whether it will accrue to us or not. We got the clarity in the fourth quarter where the clarity was available that the incentive is available to us. So that is what we have recognized in the Q4 last year.
Okay. But where do you, on what sort of line item or norms are you earning these incentives?
O&M and T&D loss.
Okay.
So, Aniket, just to clarify, all these incentives are available. We were not sure what would be passed on to us and what would have to be kept, and that's why those incentives were not booked in Q1, Q2, and Q3. Once we got that clarity, we had booked in Q4 itself, which was pertaining 50 crores was pertaining to Q1, Q2, and Q3. So if you look at for the full year, there is no normalization, but For the Q4 of last year, there was one time a 50 crore gain which was booked.
Got it. Just one last question. On a YOY basis, when I compare Q4 to Q4, what's the change in, let's say, the profit that you earned from LNG and merchant, or the delta, if you can just give me that?
So LNG we said about merchant we said about 85 crores profit we have made in the Q4.
Okay. And what would have this been in Q4 of last year?
Q4 of last year was not significant, I would say. Very.
Okay. And what would be the delta in the LNG sale?
Delta. 85 crores are delta items.
So delta. And in terms of LNG sale, what's the delta on a YOY basis?
942 crores for the full year.
This is on the
LNG side. LNG side.
In terms of EBITDA on a 4Q basis, what would this number be on a YOY?
Yeah, it's a EBITDA basis.
Okay, for full year 942. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Those are my questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. The next follow-up question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities Limited. Please go ahead. Mr. Kumar, your line is unmuted. You can proceed with your question.
Audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mohit.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for the opportunity once again. So my question is it possible to give us revenues and profits from Daman and Diu distribution in FY24?
So we present the numbers of distribution together. Just 1 second. So Daman and Diu PBT, that I would say we can give separate numbers for subsidiary company. So, PBT is about 184 crores for the current year.
Okay, understood, sir. And sir, my second question is on the Shil and Kalwa. I think we have come to 30%, but I think you also made a remark in the presentation that you can reach 12%. Is it in your opinion, how much time we can reach 12%? Is it 3 years, 4 years? Some broad indications?
So every year, if you look at the past performance, 3-4% improvement we are able to bring in.
Yes, we can see that.
Current rate one can assume for the next couple of years also.
My last question is on the parallel licenses. I think we had applied for a few of the licenses in Maharashtra, if I'm not wrong. So any update or timelines which you can think the regulator can take a call on this?
As of now, there is no update. In fact, we have addressed all questions and queries of the regulator, MERC. So we hope that post-election, they may take the call on these particular items. Or maybe they wait for the Maharashtra election to get over.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal from HDFC Asset Management Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you so much. So the renewable details are very helpful in the presentation. So just one question I had is the project cost, if I look at the specific project cost, say for example, for some of the wind projects, comes to about 8 crores, 9 crores per megawatt. That seems to be on a higher side. So what am I missing, sir? Is it there is a lot of conservatism built here, or the cost is actually this high?
It's a reasonable cost. We try to, when we incur the cost, we will see that this is the reasonable cost which we have estimated.
So there are some contingencies built in roof as of now, but as far our estimates are concerned, I think we should end up around this cost. There could be some savings, what has been built in the contingencies, but as of now, we can take this as a cost.
Okay. So based on your assessment, these are the costs which is, I mean, on-ground execution, these costs will get reflected. I mean, the cost will be around these numbers.
Yeah.
That's on actual execution. Yes. But even on solar, you have taken, for example, the TPLD solar, the cost is about 6 crores per megawatt. So even on solar, your costs are a bit high, it seems. So I'm just trying to understand what could be driving this.
No, so solar, what you're doing is on a contracted capacity. So if I look at on a 420 megawatt basis, it is not that high. On a DC
So on DC, okay. But we used to think the cost would be, I mean, even considering the duty, the Chinese duty of 40%, the cost would not be more than 4.5 crores per megawatt, even on AC level, but ours is about 6 crores. So just trying to...
So I think what we are doing is... No, I think this is a fair estimate of what we understand the cost would be.
And you would have, because these are under PPA, so you would have contracted. So, for example, wind you would have already contracted. So these cost estimates are quite easy. Contracted your supplies effectively.
So TPLD solar project of 300 megawatt, yes, we are with the words of commissioning, I would say. So.
Okay, got it. Sure, sir. That's very helpful. Thank you so much, and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up opportunity. Could you tell us the regulatory assets as of FY24 in your distribution areas, and how has that figure changed versus FY23?
So regulatory asset for the year has gone up by about 900 crores. And the numbers, I can give the numbers is about 2,670 crores as compared with the earlier number of 1,724 crores.
That's a fairly significant increase, I would say, on regulatory assets, even on a percentage basis. Where is this concentrated, and could you give some color?
It is mainly coming from the DNS bidding, which will come down during the course of the current year.
So Dadra Nagar Haveli, you were not allowed some tariff hike, which was rightfully due.
Yeah, which is going to come in the very soon, I would say.
Okay, and are you booking carrying cost on this 26 on the regulatory assets?
We are booking carry cost based on the receipt of the order, not on the accrual basis.
Right. Okay.
So effectively, Sumit, what happens is that cost is already incurred in terms of interest cost, but that that carrying cost is not booked as an income, and that's why there is also a conservatism in the numbers.
So it is not booked on accrual basis; it is booked on actual cash.
Carrying cost.
As far as carrying cost is concerned.
Yeah, it is not booked on accrual basis.
Yes.
Okay. No, that's good to know. Okay, and so basically, there's no increase which is happening in Ahmedabad or Surat. I mean, those are going as usual.
No, there is an increase. There is an increase in Ahmedabad also, and there is so basically volumes because of volumes, sheer volumes in Ahmedabad, there is an increase in Ahmedabad. Major part is in DNS-PD.
Okay.
But there is an increase in Ahmedabad also.
Okay. And second question, what is the total capex broadly you expect in the for the capex that you have to do under the PLI? Sorry, not the PLI. I think the SECI
PLI scheme.
Yeah, the SECI site scheme.
So basically, the plan is under preparation. So we are not we are not putting any numbers at this moment.
Okay. So this is for that 18,000 tons per annum green hydrogen manufacturing.
Yes.
Okay. And just conceptually to understand, when you think about pump storage hydro capex, it's some time away in terms of starting, but that does not include the CapEx you would require for charging the water battery, as in the renewable capacity that would be required to pump the water up is not included in your
Correct.
CapEx.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so conceptually, you would think about doing that CapEx yourself or buying it from the grid. What is the thought? Because that is also going to be substantial CapEx.
As of now, we have not finalized on what sort of model we will be going into. Once we have visibility on approvals coming in, I think that point in time we'll start looking at how we want to lock in ourselves, whether we want to do a lease model or we want to do a RTC supply, which will be through this storage solution. That will depend. That will give capex estimates also, because if we do an RTC power, then renewable also will have to be put up.
Yeah, that is clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bhavin Vitlani from SBI Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Good evening. So I just missed initial part. Could you help me? Like, say you reported an EBITDA of 5,140 crore last year and 4,900 this year. If you could help me out with what was the LNG in your EBITDA last year and what is it this year, and likewise, what was the merchant income last year and what is it current year? So I want to know basically the clean EBITDA, if you could help me back.
So LNG delta is 942 crores.
Okay. If you could help me with the absolute number last year and what was it in this year, that will be helpful.
We are not sharing that, Bhavin, but on a delta basis, 942 crores is what we can tell, because we have been giving delta numbers for the last 2 years.
Okay. So there is a drop of 900 crores.
Correct.
Is what
That's right.
Okay. So there is a decline of 900. And how about the merchant? If you could help me with that.
Merchant would be around 400 crores.
Okay. And that's the increase?
Yes.
Okay, great. Second question is, I was just looking through your presentation. So in the past conversations or your call, there was a mention of another circle where you've got the parallel licenses. Is that also something that the regulator has finalized in, which was closer to Ahmedabad, and or is that in the works with GERC?
This is basically MBSA here, so it's near Mehsana Becharaji. So that
right.
So we have started work there. So
okay.
It's in a very initial stage as of now. That's why it has not been given in the presentation. We have just started work there.
Okay. Any clue, let's say, if you could give some indication in terms of the size of the consumption in that circle in megawatt terms or some end-use term, just to get the order of magnitude in terms of the importance of that circle.
It's a special investment region, and as of now, we don't have details on exact consumption. We'll let you know once we have sufficient amount of details available on that.
Sure. And second is, you have the license in Dholera, and we've seen a couple of semiconductor plant announce their plants in Dholera. If you could, have they approached you in terms of what the kind of power requirement they would need? What is the kind of, consequently, what the kind of investments that you need to put in Dholera?
Initially, the construction power requirement will be there. So exact volume of power requirement will be estimated going forward. The initial requirement will be the construction power only.
So they are also right now firming up their plans, and that's how where it is difficult to give what would be the estimates or what would be their plans of drawing power from the grid.
Okay. Understand. Yeah. Fine. Those are my questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Yes. Sir, we have a last-minute question from Mr. Barani Vijay Kumar. Should we take that? Mr. Barani Vijay Kumar from
No, no.
I'm getting some
Noise is coming. The noise is coming.
No.
Yeah, right now the noise is stopped. So am I audible? So you're sounding a lot distant. So if you're using the speakerphone, may we request you use the handset mode, please?
Yeah, I'm using handset. So my first question is just a clarity on this delta on merchant sale EBITDA in FY24. You said 400 crores delta increase, right?
Yes.
Okay, 400 crores. Okay. And the second question is on the Section 11 and the PPA with the MVVNL. So can I get some idea of the capacities there that is contracted with the MVVNL, and you also mentioned some minimum guaranteed number 388. So is that crore units, million units? Like how does it work?
Yeah, 388 million units we have already supplied. We have already uptake. The uptake has completed. So Section 11 we have started since last 10 days, and the schedule is given up to 31st of May by the government.
So this 388 million units is per quarter or per month, or how is it?
The total MUs we have to supply, minimum guaranteed units, so that we have supplied.
So,
for what time frame?
Contract is for 770 megawatts. The minimum offtake guaranteed is 20%. And the contract is till, I think, 15th of June, which can be extended for another 3 months.
Okay. So 388 million units pro rata for, say, whatever time was there for in the fourth quarter we have supplied is what you're telling.
Yes.
And 388 is minimum guaranteed for the full contract period till 15th June.
The current quarter we have to supply basically 388 million units.
So I think this contract started on 15th of March, and till date we have supplied the minimum contracted capacity. So some part of the supplies happened within the 15 days of March, and some part happened in April and May till date.
Which is the 20% of 770 megawatt.
Yeah.
Okay. And over and above the 770 megawatt, how much are we supplying in the Section 11 in quantum terms?
It's difficult.
Too early to comment on that. It's just started. 10 days back it has started. We have got scheduled. So I think it is better we comment that on post Q1 results.
Okay. Sure. Okay. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Mashruwala for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you everybody for the joining Torrent Power earnings call. We wish everybody to stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of Torrent Power Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.
Thank you so much. Thank you.